Boebert, Boebert, Boebert. Say it 3 times and she appears in security video from a weekend performance of Beetlejuice, where the Congresswoman was kicked out of the theater for being disruptive. The DCPA says she was vaping. Boebert's team denied that, said the haze was from fog machines in the show. That claim goes up in smoke when you see the video. The pregnant woman sitting behind Boebert told the Denver Post she asked her to stop vaping, and Boebert refused. Her one-woman show continued, taking flash photos, raising her hands and dancing, often the only one clapping or standing up in the crowd. Boebert occasionally took a break from being disruptive to enjoy the company of her male companion. He briefly had a grasp on the situation before ushers returned and told Boebert she had to leave. The theater's incident report says Boebert pulled the "Don't you know who I am" card on the way out, appearing to give theater employees the single-finger salute.
Welcome back to Totally Based. I'm Joey Gaskin, and today we got to talk about Representative Lauren Boebert. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on new content from me. Now let's get to it. All right, so I don't know if you're familiar with the story about Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, but she was recently kicked out of a theater for apparently having a really good time. Her and her date were there to see the Beetlejuice musical, and well, she was being very loud and boisterous and singing and using her phone to take pictures, and most places like that don't even allow you to have your phone on. They usually don't want you to take pictures or videos. Well, she was also there vaping and getting fondled by her date and groping her date. All things that are not really a good look for someone who's in her line of work. She's a U.S. representative, which means she's supposed to be a representation of us, the people. I'm sure it's somewhere in her job description, but it's definitely in her title. Now, it's been reported that they were even given a warning during the intermission, and they had to come back during the second act to escort them out, which is really embarrassing. Apparently, while she was leaving, she was quoted saying things like, "Do you know who I am? I'll contact the mayor." Which, for me, my question is to Lauren, do you know who you are? Do you know that your title is a representative? You're supposed to represent the people. Well, apparently she just kind of brushed it under the rug like it was nothing and kind of made light of the situation. Went on Twitter and said this: "It's true, I did thoroughly enjoy the amazing Beetlejuice at the Buell Theatre, and I plead guilty to laughing and singing too loud. Everyone should go see it if you get the chance this week, and please let me know how it ends." Now that's fine and dandy. Nothing's wrong with having a good time and enjoying yourself and singing. Nothing's wrong with that. Her campaign manager said she wasn't even vaping that night, and that would have all been fine if the video footage hadn't said otherwise, which led to us getting the apology that we should have gotten in the first place, where she said this. Embattled U.S. Representative Lauren Boebert issued an apology Friday evening for her behavior during a performance of Beetlejuice in Denver on Sunday, saying she fell short of her values. "The past few days have been difficult and humbling, and I'm truly sorry for the unwanted attention my Sunday evening in Denver has brought to the community. While none of my actions or words as a private citizen that night were intended to be malicious or meant to cause harm, the reality is that they did, and I regret that. There's no perfect blueprint for going through a public and difficult divorce, which over the past few months has made for a challenging personal time for me and my entire family. I've tried to handle it with strength and grace as best I can, but I simply fell short of my values on Sunday. That's unacceptable, and I'm sorry." Whether it was the excitement of seeing a much-anticipated production or the natural anxiety of being in a new environment, I genuinely did not recall vaping that evening when I discussed the night's events with my campaign team while confirming my enthusiasm for the musical. Regardless of my belief, it's clear now that was not accurate. It was not my or my campaign's intention to mislead, but we do understand the nature of how this looks. We know we will have to work to earn your trust back, and it may not happen overnight, but we will do it. Now, I get it. You know, people make mistakes. Sometimes you have an off night, right? Joey, you're just being too harsh. You're being too based, right? But now it's the liberal media's fault? Check this out.
We just had Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, announce an impeachment inquiry yesterday. We're facing a government shutdown and trying to fund the federal government. We have a wide open southern border. We have Zelensky threatening to send refugees here. And what's the top story? Lauren Boebert getting kicked out of the Buell Theatre in Denver, Colorado.
It's what the media does. It's what the media does. So
yes,
what went down?
I was a little too eccentric. I'm very known for having a animated personality, maybe overtly animated personality. I was laughing, I was singing, having a fantastic time. Was told to kind of settle it down a little bit, which I did. But then my next slip up was taking a picture of
you can't take any images of the play. I've done it too. I've snuck them. Right. So you got thrown out because you took a pic and you weren't supposed to. But you know
That's
what?
right.
Here's my whole
But
thing.
there was no arguing. There's reports saying that I was arguing, threatening to call the Denver mayor. I don't know why I would ever call the Denver mayor. I think he would have tried to lock me up.
Yeah.
There were reports saying I was on the board of something. I don't know what I'm on the board of. I'm on the edge of a lot of things, let me tell you. But
Well, probably the people that complained, here's what I'm thinking. You're in Denver, Lauren. It's very liberal. The people that complained to the ushers that you were being noisy could have recognized you and been like, oh,
I think
that's
they did.
that MAGA girl. Yeah, exactly. You know how they are. I get it. Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, I think you explained it well enough, and the mainstream media can take a flying. You take care. Have a good day.
Now, just because it's on OAN doesn't mean I'm just going to rehearse the talking points. That's not me at all. You know, she wants to say things like, well, we shouldn't even be talking about me right now. We should be talking about this, and we have bigger things going on in the country. Well, you're exactly right. We sure do. And instead, we're talking about you. Why? Because you are the one that gave them the story. You should just take the L and say, you know what? I'm sorry. My bad. That was unacceptable. Please forgive me. That's all she has to say. But instead, she wants to deflect and say it's the media's fault. Oh, they want to take this story and run with it now. And, you know, we aren't even talking about the things that matter. Well, it does matter. Representation matters, Lauren. It does. Okay. Putting people in positions that actually do the things that they say they will do. That matters. You know, people who actually reflect the principles that they say they represent. That matters. You know, she said, I fell short of my values. Well, a report comes out. She was on a date with a Democrat who owns a gay-friendly bar. You fell short of your values? So maybe it was just a misstep. You just tripped and, I was on a date with a Democrat. I don't know. Maybe your values just really don't align with what you say they are. How about that? And we just call it a day. So I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I mean, maybe I'm tripping. If I'm being too harsh, let me know down in the comments. If you like the content that I'm bringing to you, though, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in a future video. Peace.